Hello, everyone. The time has come. I might actually keep the music going on a low volume as we have our little conversation today. Because that's what today's stream is. We're going to be having a conversation. Aren't we, my friends? Hello, everyone. We're going to be having a very silly conversation about a very silly hypothetical. Now, apparently, YouTube is already displeased with the concept. I'm apparently not allowed to make a community post today. I included the words smash or pass in a community post, and it didn't let me post it. And now it's not letting me post anything else for the rest of the day, so... I guess the YouTube viewers will simply have to find their way here. But, yeah, YouTube's a bit prudish. I do kind of think sometimes. I do kind of think sometimes that YouTube is just, like, into some weird things. Like, with the stuff that I've had marked as spicy content in the past, the stuff that I have had labeled as such, it's, like, I wasn't into that, YouTube. Whatever AI you use to judge these things, YouTube, I wasn't into that in that way, but I guess you are. I guess you are. Yeah, it's a bit of an odd place, a bit of a silly place. But today, my friends, we are going to be having a conversation about every single enemy and boss in Demon Souls. We'll be talking about all of them. So we're gonna set up a little tier list here, and then we're gonna have a conversation about that. And I'm thinking once we're done with the Smash or Pass, if we have a little bit of extra time, we might discuss what games we're gonna be playing next. Okay? If that sounds good with all of you, that sounds great with me. So, without even the tiniest bit further ado, let's get this set up. I'm thinking top tier is Mommy Sorry. This is for the most egregious and aggressive smashes. Yes. Then we have Smash. We have Pass. Reasonable, right? We have hardest pass in history. Now, I'm gonna be honest, right? First, you know, we talked about this idea as like a joke, but I've been giving it some very serious thought lately. And I'm gonna be honest, I think of all of the different Souls games that do exist, because we're gonna be doing this for all of them. To me, this is one of the least smashable games. Truly, truly, truly it is. But we're gonna get into it. We're gonna have a conversation. Maybe there'll be some surprises in there, right? Yeah, Demon... Okay, because I was looking through wiki pages just to make sure I had all the enemies lined up. And there were quite a few that were like, oh yeah, that'll be an immediate pass. Like, no argument there, no question about it, right? Hear me out. This is something that I feel like is gonna come up naturally. Like, if I see something that's kind of out of pocket and I say smash, I will try to justify it to you all. Today we're gonna be discussing a couple things in somewhat veiled terms. okay? We're going to be discussing, obviously, attractiveness. We're going to be discussing logistics. And in some cases, we're going to be discussing ethics, and ethics will probably overrule all with a few of these. Like, for instance, one enemy that is going to be an immediate pass, dog. There's no further discussion that needs to be had. That's, I'm gonna download the image, I'm gonna put it on the tier list, and it's going immediately into the hardest pass imaginable tier. We're just gonna go ahead and, boop. And that's the issue with Demon Souls, is there are quite a few enemies that are just like that. I think the bosses will be interesting, and I think some of the enemies we could have a conversation about. But let's get started. We have Dreglings. What do you think? What do you think of a Dregling, huh? It's just a guy. He's kind of he's not doing great, is he? He's not doing the greatest. So I'm not they're not made out of wood. He's just got like a wooden mask on. He's kind of wearing rags. He's, quote, a weak zombie-like enemy, according to Fextra. And that you know, I would agree. They are weak and zombie-like. And this is, you see, this is the thing. This is the thing, right? What am I supposed to say about this guy? Yeah, he's not charismatic. He's just a weak zombie-like guy. How sentient are they? I have no idea, frankly. I'm gonna put it here, I think. Yeah, it's just sort of a rotting dude. That's the thing. It's just sort of a rotting dude. And so even in the instance where it's like, okay, ethically this is fine, it's a rotting guy. Boletaria Soldier. So many of the Boletaria enemies are just a guy. They're just a guy. If we're talking about gonna get an illness from this enemy, like, there's a whole area of the game we will have to take off the list in that case. Loyal soldiers of Boletaria, whose souls were stolen and now controlled by the demons. In their current mindless state, all that matters is what they were trained for, to defend the palace from intruders. It's just a guy. This is one of the most just a guy enemies. And I guess I think this is gonna get a lot more interesting in later Souls games. I do. But I'm glad we can all agree right now. I'm glad we can all agree. I'm looking forward to the future ones. I'm looking forward to the future ones. I think there are gonna be some characters and some enemies in some of these coming games that are... Ooh. I'm really looking forward to the Bloodborne Smasher Pass, honestly. I have some opinions, You know, we want to talk about the One Reborn. We want to talk about Gaping Dragon. I would love to talk about Gaping Dragon. Hoplite. Slime-like creatures who wield a spear and a shield. Now, I currently have an opinion on the hoplites, and I'm interested in seeing what you all say. I'm interested in talking about this. I think slimes can get creative with it. I think from a physical attractiveness standpoint, there's not a lot that's super interesting visually, but like, they are Penny Almighty. You get it. Exact. And I think the thing for me, right, is I'm thinking about a later entry on this list when we get to the boss section, okay? And when we do get to the boss section, there's one that I know in my heart already is gonna be a smash. And out of respect to that, these little bozos can tag along. You know, they can tag along. Sure, they can be involved. Is this maybe a pity smash? Maybe. But like, I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. I think that if they have the creativity to work with what they've got, like, I'm saying that a hoplite could be a tender lover. Okay? I'm saying you could do worse than to spend your life with a hoplite. Moving on, we're looking at the Blue-Eye Knight now. There is something inherently attractive about a person in armor. That is just a fact. That is just a fact. Personally, I fuck with the red-eye vibe a little bit more, but like, it's, there's nothing really to say here. It's a knight, and knights are attractive, right? Do we all agree that knights are attractive? So this is going into Smash. We might also. You love the armor, but you're not Smash. The person underneath. That's fair. We don't know what's underneath, actually. We don't know. Because I see glowing spectral energy, and I think, what if this is maybe a sort of living armor situation, right? What if that's what we're working with? And inside the armor is just this animating blue magic. The soul of the knight remains, but the armor is empty. Because in that case, like, sure, you might think, oh, well, in that case it's metal, and metal doesn't sound fun, right? You think metal might not be the most pleasant, and that's fair. That's fair. But also, I want you to imagine for a second. Imagine that this is an empty suit of armor, okay? Imagine this scenario. Imagine it along with me. You put on the armor. You put on the armor. And now you are wearing a living, animate thing. And you just let it puppet the whole situation. You just follow its lead, right? Are you seeing the vision? I could write a short story about that. I could write a little spicy fic about that. That's a whole ass concept right there. So when we take that into consideration, Blue-Eye Knight, I would say is a smash, and I would say is a step above the hoplite. Red-Eye Knight, we're having the same conversation here, right? We're having the same conversation, but just red eyes look a little bit more sinister, a little bit more threatening, and I think that is attractive. You think Blue Eye Knight is still just a guy in lore? Well, guess what? Some people look at a guy and they say smash. If it is just a guy, then cool. Did you know? About half of the population that is attracted to people in general and is interested in engaging with relations of all kinds, about half of the population that's interested in that stuff, I think they're interested in guys, and that's like kind of a nutty concept. No, to all of the boy likers in chat, I have nothing but respect for you. I am unfortunately sort of one of those, kind of. We've had this conversation a couple times on stream, so I'm not gonna get into it right now. But while I'm never going to actually do a thing with any man ever because of stuff, I can find a guy attractive. I can find a guy attractive. You're just saying he's not living a rumor? Well, in that case, then I'm still just gonna have, I'm gonna smooch him, okay? I just realized you can see my Tokai Teo cursor on stream. Teo, shield your eyes. Shield your eyes. Well wishes to the boy kissers and good luck. Yeah, the boy kissers, they're in the trenches. They're in the trenches so much of the time. Need to have higher standards for men. Alright, this is apparently called the Fat Official. I don't approve of body shaming. I also don't approve of landlords and the bourgeoisie. So, this feels like we're immediately putting this man into the hardest pass imaginable tier. This man is like a landlord. And I'm sorry to say, but if you would smash a landlord, you are not my friend. I actually, because I got this new PC. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. I need to do something real quick, okay? I just remembered something. I'm gonna put this guy into the hardest pass in history tier. And then I'm gonna do something, and I have to take care of this right now or I will forget about it. Okay, give me 2 seconds, 2 seconds, 2 seconds. This is so important. My partner made a silly little thing for me. My partner made a silly little thing. They did. And I have to do a thing. Okay. I need to, oh god, I need to make this smaller. Stay calm, stay calm. Stay calm. Stay calm. Deep breaths. Keep it chill. Ah! Car alarm. Okay. We're gonna do this. That. Amazing. And now I do this. Bam! Amazing. Amazing. Okay, so, my lovelies, my friends, there is a new emote that is currently awaiting approval by Twitch. but it was made by my partner and it's adorable. So that emote should show up sometime in the near future, and I will also probably post it on Tumblr soon. But I just remembered that I have to add that. Yes, a new emote, and it's so cute. Y'all, it's so cute. Anyways, you want to see it? You want to see it? Okay. You know what? I can do that for you. I can show you a little preview of it. I just do this. Ta-da! New emote! New emote, my lovelies! There's gonna be a Faye cheer emote. I love it so much. It's everything to me. So yes, this will be a new emote for the channel. They've been hard at work making new emotes, and I had to talk them into letting me pay them. So please make sure you go and support them. I will be making a Tumblr post featuring this art later today, and I will be linking to their Tumblr and to their Twitch on that post. So please go take a look at that post, go follow them on Tumblr, go follow them on Twitch. They're amazing and I love them so much. Okay? They've been streaming Resi and a few other games with some friends lately. They do art streams every week as well. Recently they were drawing a bunch of hats for their avatar. So go check them out. Go check them out. Do it. You have to do it. You're legally obligated to do it. Oh, thank you so much for becoming a fairy. Hello, thank you. All right. Now, we do have business to continue. Continue. Imperial Spy. Yet another. That is just a guy. Did you know, though, at medium range, he'll throw a secret throwing dagger? Does that do anything for you? What if you're at medium range? I mean, consider. Secret throwing dagger. No, he's. I'm noticing. Not only is this a lot of guys, but it's also just a lot of white guys, right? We have a lot of white guys here. Dregling, I guess, is kind of an exception, but that's more because of the rot than anything else. So, what am I... To be fair, there isn't much sunlight. I mean, you have to imagine that Boletaria must have been a little bit nicer before, right? Oh, I do think Boletaria is, like, at its core, right? It's kind of a, you know, imperialist European nightmare. Yeah. And so, you know, it's not unexpected that it would be like this. Ostrava. This is, we met him briefly. We did not do his full quest line. If I remember correctly, Ostrava is like the son of King Alan or something. He's just one of the guy. He's just one of the guys, right? He's kind of, you know what? Yeah, this is generational wealth. This is a generational wealth thing, so we're immediately putting this on a pass. I do think I think Estrava is maybe trying to be better, if I know his story correctly. But he escapes hardest pass in history tier. Yes. But that's a low bar. Alfred, Knight of the Tower. This is Tower Knight, but as just a guy. That's... yeah. It's a lot less exciting, right? Than normal Tower Knight. Yeah, no, Tower Knight, but he little now. Tower Knight, but he'd honestly probably end up looking up at me if we were to stand next to each other. What are we... I guess he's like vaguely good looking. If Tower Knight was a woman, then it would be a smash, but it's Alfred. Like, the armor's pretty. I wish I could see what's underneath. Have to look up some like Zully the Witch stuff to find that out. Like, it's just a guy. You'd smash Batman's butler? You are based and correct for that. Is the red ghost look A+, or... Obviously it's a plus. Anyone could be improved by being a dark spirit. You know what, with that in mind, I'm gonna say that Alfred is almost a smash. Alfred is almost a smash, okay? The big strong knight in ghostly red spirit form. Like this, I don't hate that, you know? I don't hate that. Yeah, the spooky red aura does in fact enhance the smashability. I'm glad we're having this conversation. Longbow Ulan. This is Phalanx. This is Phalanx, but as a person. Woman. Ghost woman. Red Phantom woman. I put this comfortably into Smash. You never go out without your spooky red aura? Yeah, I forgot my ghostly aura when I was heading out to a function once, and it was like really awkward. It was really, really awkward. Yeah. This is where we're at. She does have a longbow. She is cool. You're never fully dressed without your... Hang on a second. Hang on just a second. I need to remember how to do filters. Doo-doo. Where are filters? This whole thing is a mess to actually try and look through. Is it in here? Visual effects. Activate. Okay. And we're gonna do a little something, okay? Whoa. I just need to turn red. Vaguely red. Whoa. Hold on, color filter. Is that what we want? It is. It is what we want. Perfect. You've been invaded. You have officially been invaded by Flawless Fae. Beware. do we do? Yeah, that looks about perfect. Congratulations. I am now invading you. It is me, Red Spirit, Flawless Fae. Alright. What I see when I use my red headlamp while camping and end up face to face with a Fae. You know, I might actually be able to make it better by adding like a glow effect, but that's too much effort right now. That's too much effort. Moving on. Metas, Knight of the Lance. Is this Penetrator? I would love, you know, it's, again, just a guy. Red Spirit, so that's a plus. That's the name of a boss, Nicky Martin. That's the name of a boss. I'm gonna put Knight of the Lance like right around there. One night stand to figure out how he got that name. Unfortunately, it's probably because of the lance part. Probably because of the stabbing people part and not the. I wish I could say otherwise. Drinking my iced coffee because once again I have too much iced coffee. Alright. And the last for Boletaria. Lizard. I do still have the endless iced coffee, yes. That will be around for a while. It's just a lizard. This is just a lizard. It's got pretty rocks on its back, which I think would make it great as a pet lizard. Right? Going into here. I wonder if Uma Musume in medieval times settled disputes by jousting. Some would have, yes. People talk about, like, what happened in history? Did Uma Musume, like, how did knights work? Did they ride on the backs of Uma Musume into battle? No. They just gave the Uma Musume weapons and sent them to war. Gold ship would be dangerous in medieval times. She would be. She absolutely would be. I would not feel safe. We're gonna move on. Any repeats we're skipping. So we've already established Dog, his hardest pass in history. Landlord, hardest pass in history. Now, we're gonna talk about these lovely gentlemen. They're strange humanoids, covered mostly in reptilian scales and clad in crude rags for clothes. This is, I mean, he's not rotting. He's scaly. He's scaly. Now, do we believe in class solidarity, my friends? Do we believe in class solidarity? I, for one, do. I, for one, do. This is, you know, maybe not, like, to me, the most attractive of people, but like, yeah, I would. The scales really do, like, yeah, they really do make a difference there. I think if this lovely gentleman was not, you know, a little bit inhuman with the glowing yellow eyes, the scales, it would probably be a pass. But those two things added on, like, yeah, 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 I'm here for it. Sure thing, boss. Sure thing, boss. So we run into several issues here. First off, again, just a lizard. Second, covered in fire. Completely covered in fire. And so there are several axes on which this is going into a particular tier. And this is the issue that we find with Demon Souls. So many of them are going to end up in this tier by default. Bear bug. This is the thing that Patches tries to kill you with. He tries to kill you with a giant bear bug. They're cute. It's cute. It's gonna have to be a pass, boss. Is it made of rocks, or is it just covered in rocks? Feels like it's covered in rocks. I'm gonna include all of the bear bugs into one tier together, okay? I'm gonna just bundle them all together. And I think we can also pretty safely say that Rockworm is gonna be in the same tier. Even if we don't consider, like, you know, the ethical issue here, look at the worm. Look at the teeth. No. No. The rocks and the teeth say no. What if new tier of just petting? Yeah, you know what? You know what? I might do that just so that I don't have to put these good little lads in the same tier as, like, rich bastards. You feel me? So, Robolo. Uh-huh. There we go. There we go. We hate capitalists here. Can't stand those feet. Did I just almost say can't stand those feet? What? I mean, I can't. If a foot belongs to a I am a capitalist hater. Listen, my opinions on feet in general are irrelevant. What matters is that if you're a capitalist, we're not interested. Not interested. Not interested in those feet. Full stop. Full stop. I am not a capitalist bootlicker. You see what I did there? See what I did there? Again, something about the aura of a hostile red spirit increases attractiveness, right? So, if I'm putting the normal one into Smash tier, obviously, this is happening too. I'm gonna say about there. I think that's comfortable for me. I think I'm satisfied with that. Now, here is an interesting area. And I do think we get into some conversations to be had here. Unfortunately, my friends, my lovelies, we have an ad break starting in about 40 seconds. So, my lovelies, my wonderful, wonderful friends, we're gonna let this ad break wash over us for a little while. I put it off for as long as Twitch would let me. I did. But alas, alack, the time has come. No, this is definitely where we I think oh, hello there. Hi. You want to come say hi during the ad break? Oh man, this really sucks for anyone who hasn't gotten a sub. Oh, what a shame. Come here. Come on. Yeah, you can come up. Come on. Come on. Come on up. Come on. I'm inviting you. I'm inviting you up. Oh, he just wants to sit in his shelf. For those unaware, he has a little shelf that is built into a window. It's very cute. Yes, you do, Rav. It's true. Hi, bud. Hi, bud dear. There. One of the unfortunate things is that those who are watching ads, you can't skip them by subbing. Lame. Apparently something might be strange about the emote upload, so I'll have to check that in a bit. I can take care of that after stream. The ad break is almost over. I hope everyone's excited to continue. Alright, we're back at it again. We're back at it once more, starting with Mind Flayer. Octopus-headed mages who serve as the prison guards in the Tower of Latria. They are powerful spellcasters who are able to overwhelm and imprison Sage Freak. Yes? Sir, your eyes, they're so innocent. Perhaps you should not be here. You are very small. You are very small. Come here now. Smooch the cat. Oh, no, buddy, that's my coffee. Don't touch my Don't touch my coffee with your disgusting little baby hands. He's getting his cat hair in my coffee. Now, I feel like Mind Flayer, right? We have to consider what we know they can do in-game, okay? Dino Bird Girl? we're taking all of these under the assumption that they would not try to kill you in this case, right? And I look at Mind Flayer and I think, first off, what those tentacles do, exactly. And second, the Mind Flayer demonstrates in-game the ability to paralyze you with spells. And, if we take that into consideration, right? If we take that into consideration, then I feel like you could get up to some really fun things with the Mind Flayer. No, don't type on my keyboard, small cat. I feel like you shouldn't be here for this. That's fair. That's very, very fair. And you know, you could probably negotiate that with the Mind Flayer, I feel like. Currently, I would say Mind Flayer is the very top of Smash tier for me. That's totally fair. I personally, well, not to say too much here, but I would be into it personally. Cover your ears, Rav. Cover your ears, cover your eyes. You're a small cat. Prisoner. Well. This is yet another situation where we are, looking at just a man. Just a guy. Just one of the dudes. And with that understanding, I think, to me, I feel like if you're being locked up in the prison of Latria, there's a high probability that your imprisonment is unjustified. So I'm gonna say the very bottom of Smash tier. Like, could be more attractive, yeah. Could get some meat on those bones, yeah, but you gotta consider his circumstances, right? He's been locked up for who knows how long, probably for a crime, quote unquote, that isn't even a crime, right? You know what? Sorry, I just thought about it some more. I was just thinking, and I just, what do we think? Because I do feel like, sure, you work in a prison, which does suck, but from a pure, like, attractiveness standpoint, and, like, you could do things. Is the Mind Flayer a bottom or not? This is... Okay. You know what? Yeah. A-Cab. Mind Flayer. A-Cab. We're keeping him Smash tier. Okay. I get into this a lot. But, like, top and bottom and sub and dom are two different things, right? And I think I could argue with the Mind Flayer being either sub or dom. I could see either of those happening. But as far as, like, top or bottom, I feel like Mind Flayer's a top. That's just the vibe I get. Maybe it's just because I'm thinking about the things I would want the tentacles to do, but, like, this is where we're at. My friends, man centipede. Man centipede. I'm seeing a pass. Would you care to explain your reasoning? Because okay, Pachacutie, you're applying comp dom to the mind flayer. Just because they're capable of that does not mean plus like there's something to be said about doing dominant things, but doing it on the order of someone else, right? Anyways, I'm looking at Man Centipede and I'm thinking like I'm thinking it's probably a pass, but maybe not as hard of a pass as one might think. Like, there are things I could envision, but I don't know how much it appeals when you take into consideration the everything, right? So I think I'm gonna put it right here. Like, there's a line and it's getting close to the line, but it's not there yet. Alanta's absolutely gonna go into you, yeah. Gargoyle. Gargoyle. Look at this. Look at the gargoyle. Look at the gargoyle. Are we seeing the same thing? Because if we are, then this should be a no-brainer, right? Right? Like, this is... yeah, close to Mothman, so yeah, no, we get it. We're all on the same page here, right? We are all on the same page here. And I know that mommy sorry tier implies femininity. First off, we don't know. Maybe the gargoyle's trans femme. We don't know that. That could be a thing. But I just... Look at that gargoyle. Like... Come on. Come on. I would go to, I would go out for dinner with this gargoyle. Although, I don't know. Actually, maybe because, like, I don't know if the gargoyle eats because it's made of rocks. But, like, God, imagine going on, like, a bowling date with a gargoyle, right? And then you go back to your place together later. And, of course, the gargoyle does, like, because... There's a tactile thing with rocks, yes, but they do come on a little bit hot when you first encounter them. Like they're a little bit like whoa. But thinking about it outside of the context of that initial scene where they just kind of rock up and take you away, like it's an attractive thing. This is an attractive beastie. Yeah, yeah. And then you show up home. And then there's the violent sound of rocks grinding against each other, and you get a noise complaint from your neighbors. And yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna say this is it's an easy call. Now introducing my best friend, Meatball. Behold, Meatball. What do we think about Meatball, my friends? What are our Meatball opinions? He's married. I was not aware of that. Oh, out of respect for his wife, then. Unless his wife's into that. Well, that would be like, I feel like you'd get assimilated. Sorry, I had a vision for a moment. I was like, wait, is that? Well, maybe. No, I don't necessarily want to get assimilated into the writhing mass that's probably in pain. But I do, like, I would hang out with Meatball, right? We would probably, like, flirt with each other, you know? Like... No, I totally respect if the answer for Meatball is a smash, right? I think that's totally fair. For me, I just... Like, I go out for drinks, yeah. I would hang out, maybe, like, playfully flirt, but probably not go any further than that, for me personally. Welcome to Skeleton Zone. This is Skeleton Town. I'm gonna put all of the skeletons that we have here, silver skeleton, gold skeleton, and black skeleton, on the same tier. I'm gonna be honest. The skeletons, one of them did admittedly almost make me say something. During that run back, there was a point where I almost said something egregiously spicy towards one of these skeletons. Because I mentioned how I flirt with enemies that keep killing me, and oh, woof. Okay, because and we can figure it out. We can figure it out. All right. Skeleton enemies to lovers slow burn? Exactly. Like, and maybe I'm thinking from my perspective as someone with a specific configuration, but like, I think I could figure it out. I think we can make it work. I think if we're talking about like a living skeleton, then I think we're cool, right? I'm down. I'm sorry. I you know, this might be controversial, but I think I'm okay with it. I think this is a smash to me. I think to me, this is where we're at. If only because of what I almost said. And because I can clearly picture what I almost said right now. I'd be pretty into it. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna put it maybe just below the hoplite. Yeah, this feels good. Storm Beast. As much as I think the Stinger could do creative things, it is, to me, too close to just a Stingray for me to feel comfortable. Yeah, I'm putting this in a pet tier. Putting this in the pet tier. This is just a little friend. Do not the Screamer of Tsinch. You don't get to tell me what to do. You don't get to tell me what you... I mean, in this case, you're right, though. You are right. Reaper. I mean... if the previous skeleton was a smash, like, this one's, first off, incredibly drippy with it. Got the scythe going. And can summon fishman ghosts, which... Unfortunately, Dew Demon, I don't know if I can allow that one to go through the moderation. I feel like there has to be a line. I do think you are correct. We must speak delicately. We must talk around these things with care. You're all good. You're all good. I fully agree with you, Dew Demon. I truly, truly do. Dew Demon just mentioned the idea that, you know, with Reaper, there's always company, you know? It doesn't have to just be you and the Reaper now, does it? Instantly, we have a party, don't we? Yeah, see, you get it, you get it. You understand the vision, the idea. So, I am absolutely fully gonna put this, I am almost tempted for Mommy Sorry tier. Genuinely. Like, this is a vision. This is, yeah, you know what we're doing it, Reaper? You and me. Reaper Goth Mommy. You are so right about that. On the subject, Shadow Lurker. We have Shadow Lurker. And this is gonna be a smash. It's part of the Reaper package, first off. This is an easy call. I'm thinking right about there. Alright, I was happy to have you here, Mousy Angel. You have a lovely day. I'm glad we can agree. This is a fascinating conversation we're having. I do think these next two, no debate necessary. They're little guys. And so they're going into little guy tier. Like, this is... yeah. This is not a debate. They are going into little guy. Now, if we want to talk about getting every disease, Welcome to the Valley of Defilement. Welcome to the Valley of Defilement, my friends. This is... So we have just a mosquito, just a rat, just a tick, a poison jellyfish, a baby. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put basically this whole area into little guy tier. We are just gonna say no to all of these. The only thing to have a conversation about is the depraved ones. It's the only conversation to be had here. Let's see. Just do that. There we go. This is the issue with Demon Souls of all of the Souls games. This is the concern. It's that this is gonna be continually the thing. Hello, I'm normal again. Depraved ones. And you know what? I'm gonna say Giant Depraved One is its own separate thing. They are, again, going to give you every single disease. They're going to give you all of them. So, this does feel pretty conclusive. I do think Giant Depraved One is maybe a little bit higher than the normal Depraved One. But that sets a very low bar now, doesn't it? That sets a very, very, very low bar. So, normal Depraved One, that's a pass. Giant Depraved One, it's also a pass. They are kind of Goblin Core, but again, you're gonna get every disease you can imagine. I feel like maybe if you weren't going to get every disease, then maybe we could discuss raising them up in the rankings, but considering the fact that you will get every disease, yeah, we're gonna have to say no to that one. We're gonna have to move on. And with that, we've made it through the normal enemies. Welcome to the bosses. Welcome to the bosses. This, I feel, is going to be much more interesting. I truly, truly do. Starting with, of course, Adjudicator. Adjudicator is... I find myself it's possessing the demon thing. It's complicated. That's okay. I'm glad you said it, Pachacutie. That's exactly where my mind went to. Yes, is, but does the tongue outweigh the everything else? And to me, don't think it does. I think this is probably gonna be a pass for me. How big is the Adjudicator? Probably like maybe 20 or 30 feet tall, I think. Somewhere around that. Incredibly large. Oh, you're all good, Demon. I did say that I fully agreed with you. I'm gonna put it maybe just below meatball, right? Gotta try it once for the experience. That's fair, that's fair. Very reasonable. Armor spider. It's just a bug. It's, you know, big fan of characters like Quelaag. This does not have the human part. It's just a very large spider. Mm-hmm. We're gonna put armor spider right there. Blue dragon. Is red dragon on here? Yes. Okay, cool. Do we know that for certain, Dino Bird Girl? Because we do have, like, Dragon God, which is a man. And I feel like if dragons have a god, then they would be sentient, right? Surely. Sapient, even. I think... there are some later Souls games dragons that, like, would absolutely be a yes. I think of the two dragons in this game, Blue Dragon is probably the closer one to being a yes. But I feel like for the sake of this list, because I don't think we know one way or the other, I think we're gonna say that dragons are intelligent. Okay? Just for the sake of this list, we're going to consider them as such. Because typically in Souls games they are. I'm still probably gonna put this dragon in pass. This one and red dragon. They're probably gonna go into pass. I feel like... I understand that, Dino Bird Girl. I understand that that is not always the case, but it is often the case. And since we don't know, and since this is a pure hypothetical, we're taking it in that assumption, okay? Again, still a pass. It and Red Dragon, still a pass for me. But for the purposes of this list, that's perfectly fair. You're allowed to disagree. But if we don't have lore confirmation one way or the other, then I don't find that it matters particularly much. Dirty Colossus. I'm gonna have to say this one's a hard pass, my friends. It's full of bugs. Like, you might think dirty Colossus. I like the word dirty in this context. No, you don't. Full of bugs. Full of bugs. I'm gonna say I'm good on that one. Yeah. Yeah. Dragon God. Dragon God for me. Let's get a slightly better image. Dragon God is absolutely a smash. Dragon God might be in Mommy Sorry tier. Like, I feel like you would have to get very creative, right? But I mean... One of the things that I consider most attractive in the entire world is physically larger than me. And, yeah, this definitely fits the bill. Hello, Dragon God. As for the mechanics of how to do it, oh, does this image not work? What the heck? What the heck, Dragon God? All right, I guess I'll use this image. You know, there's a reason that my avatar is what she is, right? There is a reason that I choose to portray myself. You know what? You're going to the top of Mommy Sorry tier. There's a reason that my avatar and the way I choose to present myself is as a fairy dragon. Broadly speaking, I try to keep my main Flawless Fae blog relatively clean in general these days. My friends all understand. They all understand. If they find something with fairies in it, they send it to me. Because I maybe personally find the idea of fitting in the palm of someone's hand very attractive. Ah, the opposite. I prefer to be the fairy in that situation. You see. And so I look at Dragon God and I think, wow, I don't even have to shrink to fulfill that. I can be my normal size and still fit in the palm of your hand. So Dragon God, for me, is one of the hardest smashes that I could possibly think of. Am I into giants or being small? Yes. Just full stop, yes. Flame Lurker. Oh, this one's rough. This one is rough. Flame Lurker is... DS1 giant women will all be top smash then? They absolutely will, yes. Flame Lurker is constantly on fire, yes. Flame Lurker is... always on fire. I acknowledge this fact. Y'all. No, I can't say pass on this. I'm sorry, I can't. I can't say pass on this. I don't have the power to say pass on that. Alright? I also wish I was significantly smaller than my current height, Dino Bird Girl. I am presently 6'3", and I would like not to be. I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna put it there. Flame Lurker, congratulations. You're a smash. We'll figure out how to work with the fire. We'll figure out how to handle that. Listen, I would give you 8 inches of my height, Dew Demon, if I could. I'd fully trade heights with you. Fool's Idol. So, do we need to discuss this? Do we need to have any conversation about this? Multi-armed floating woman with magic spells. Like, this is not even slightly up for debate. She is going, ooh, this is really hard. This is really hard. I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with that. I am really don't say that, Dill Girl. Don't say that. You're gonna make me feel things. This also, I feel, should have absolutely zero. She can duplicate. Y'all, I forgot about that. That's one of her main things. She clones herself. Multi-armed magic woman who can make like 4 of herself at once. Understood. Thank you for the reminder, Dino Bird Girl. She does. Anyways. Old King Alunt. Yeah, that's an U. That's an U tier. Okay, what are we looking at here? I don't... I don't think, you know, I was talking on stream about how if Leechmonger was a woman, but I don't think I could. I don't think I could do it. I would feel a little bit nauseous. To be frank, I would feel a little bit nauseous in that situation. I'm gonna put Leechmonger around Meatball, I think. Because Leechmonger is someone that I would go out for drinks with, right? Leechmonger is someone I would hang out with. We would be pals. I don't think we're gonna be anything more than that. Hear you out? Hey, if you want to be with Leechmonger, then I wish you all the best. No, I wish you all the best, honestly. Like, I would gladly be at the wedding, you know? I would want to support you. As Leechmonger's friend, I would want to support you. Maneater. Now, perhaps this is just the conversation that we had around Maneater swaying my opinion, but I think Maneater's transphobic. I think Maneater is a transphobe. That's just from a purely vibes-based assessment. So, we're gonna pass on Maneater. Rancid vibes. Absolutely rancid vibes. Maiden Australia. What's her boy's name? What's that guy's name? Like, sure. Australia's very good looking. I like her a lot. She's definitely got a guilt thing going on, so you're gonna feel bad about it afterwards, and she's gonna feel bad about it afterwards. Either that, or she's going to insist on letting her boy watch. Right? Like, one of those two things is going to happen. So, I'm gonna say that he's, like, she's gonna be right at the bottom. It's a yes, but, like, only barely, you know? That's unfortunate, but yeah. Vanguard. I feel like this image of Vanguard Demon is, a little bit something. Hey, we got Vanguard here. We got Vanguard here. What do we think? What do we think about this? I'm thinking a smash. Like, of all the Demon Souls characters that I would smash, I would say Vanguard's maybe on the lower end. I don't know what's going on with that mouth. I'm not sure about that. Like, is that like overlapping teeth or something? But like, yeah, we can make it work. We can absolutely make it work, me and Vanguard Demon. Totally down for that. I'm gonna say right around there. Old Hero. Old Hero was one of the bosses involved in the initial Smasher Pass conversation. And I think my decision remains the same. Old Hero is a very angry person. He is a very angry person. I think he's pretty good looking. The vibes are not it. The vibes are so not it, right? And so this runs into the situation where it's like, yeah, okay, 20-foot tall man, very, very attractive, absolutely built. So I'm gonna say like right around there, you know? Maybe someone to be thirsted after over a distance, but not someone to be involved with. Tower Knight. This is yeah. Yep. Glad you understand, Dino Bird Girl. For anyone who was not present for this particular stream, Tower Knight is like 30 feet tall. Like, this is a massive knight. And being a knight is inherently an attractive thing to me. Being large is an attractive thing to me. I don't know that Tower Knight is necessarily more attractive to me than a Mind Flayer, but definitely very high on the list. Very high on the list. Absolutely Tower Knight. Old Monk. I know nothing about Old Monk other than he's a religious old man. I know that Old Monk wears a very long thing. So, this... Yeah. Yeah, right around there, I think. Right around there. Alright. 10-foot tall knight named Penetrator. I want to just linger on that for a little bit. This is a knight that is like twice my size that is called the Penetrator. Yep. Yep. Okay. Glad we all understand. Glad we all understand. Yep. Yep. Easy call. Easy call. Next up, Phalanx. Remember Hoplite? Remember Hoplite from earlier? Who I said I would smash on out of respect for a later one? We've made it. This right here is a woman. Look at her. She's beautiful. She's beautiful. Absolutely yes. Absolutely yes. Congratulations. Congratulations. This is the thing, right? Like, a lot of the Boletaria bosses are super, or a lot of the Boletaria regular enemies are like just a guy, right? But then you get to the bosses in Boletaria, and it's like Phalanx, it's Penetrator, it's Tower Knight, yes. And then it's Elan, and we throw him out of a window. Like, this is, yeah. No, I'm super here for that. Primeval Demon. I'm gonna say probably not. We never saw one in our playthrough. It's considered one by this list. I don't... You are objectively correct, Dill Girl. I'm gonna have to say a no on letting that one slip through the auto mind. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think so. For me, I don't think this one's gonna happen. There is no way that I can say what Dill Girl said in a way that dances around it. Primeval Demon looks like a certain thing. It looks like a particular thing. Yes. Okay. Yes, there we are. We all understand now. This is gonna be a pass. This is gonna be a pass. Red Dragon, already established. Gonna be same situation as Blue Dragon. Gonna be a pass from me. Gonna be a pass. I think as far as dragons go, like, I don't necessarily know all of the dragons in every Souls game, but I think Calamete's going to be an interesting conversation to have. I think Midir is going to be an interesting conversation to have. Lanciax, when we get to Elden Ring, like, yeah. All that's left is the big screamer of Tzeentch, and it's gonna have to be a no. It's gonna have to be a no. Probably gonna be in little guy tier. Technically very large, but still little guy. Oh, Elden Ring has so many dragons. I don't know how we're gonna go about it as far as the Elden Ring boss list is concerned, because there are so many bosses in that game. Now, there are a few that were not on this list, okay? And we're gonna get those out of the way right now, okay? First off, True King Allant. What do we think, everyone? Cause I'm thinking it's, you know, normal King Allant, or, well, the illusory King Allant was a pass. This is also, yeah. That is an old rich king. And lastly, the old one. What do we think, everyone? What's the vibe here? I think, as far as the old one goes, it would be a smash just for the sake of being able to say that I did it. Right? Like, that's bragging rights forever. That is you can be the one to say that you did it. You did it. There is no one else in the world who could say that, right? So, yeah, that is true. Personality-wise, not the greatest. But again, like, to me, I want to be able to say that I did it. I want to be able to say that I did it. And so I'm gonna put it on Smash. That's super fair. That is super fair, Dino Bird Girl. Alright, my friends, and with that, it's done. It's done, we've done it. We have done every enemy in Demon Souls. Smash or pass. This is my personal list. This was honestly kind of silly, kind of enjoyable. I had fun with this. I think we're probably gonna do this after every Souls game going forward. We might not do every enemy for every game. We might just do every boss for some of them. But like, this is something that I think I enjoyed. We have an ad break that's coming in like 2 minutes. And then I'm thinking once it's over, we're gonna have a little conversation about what we're doing going forwards, all right? Because obviously we're gonna be playing Dark Souls 1 next week, but I would like to swap out one of the slots that I allocated for Demon Souls to a different game. And there are a couple ideas that I currently have in mind. But I wanna hear your thoughts first. We're probably not going to do a Peggle stream. unfortunately. I'm sorry. Maybe I can do a Peggle stream eventually, but that's not on the immediate agenda. Do I need to own the game? I mean, would that be ideal? Yes, but like, I am willing to buy games for the sake of stream. Currently, like, with all the incredible amounts of subs that y'all have thrown at me, like, Dark Souls 1 has paid for itself. Like, playing through Demon Souls has paid for DS1. What was I thinking about playing alongside Dark Souls 1? Well, I will tell you that after the ad break, which starts in about 10 seconds, supposedly. I'm gonna have a little spippy of my drink. Warframe, it would, and also I'm like a significant portion of the way through the game. What about a Baldur's Gate 3 playthrough on stream? I have beaten Baldur's Gate 3 several times. I would be willing to do it again, but we'd probably want to add something to add a little spice to it. You know, something to make it a little extra special, right? Because I have beaten Baldur's Gate 3 many, many times. I have admittedly never done an honor mode run. The Pathfinder game, Wrath of the Righteous, or Kingmaker. I actually haven't played Kingmaker, technically. I have not done that one. I have played Wrath of the Righteous many, many times, though. Celeste, as a trans girl, I am very sorry to admit I have never played Celeste. That is actually a game that I have not yet touched. My honor as a trans girl is sullied by this fact, but it is true, it is true. Oh god. Oh god. We're layers deep. Oh god. Oh god. Help. There, everything's fine now. Ta-da! Hi. Let's see. You played Celeste, but your computer broke before you could finish it? Oh, that's a shame. Alright, I do have some ideas of my own as well, so we should be able to have a little conversation about this. You got Kingmaker, and my audio where I mentioned Pathfinder reminded you about it. Kingmaker is good. I've played a little bit of it. I haven't played the whole thing though. I do think I enjoy Wrath of the Righteous a little bit more from what I have played. What about COD Zombies runs? I'm probably not gonna do that. I don't particularly have a lot of interest in Call of Duty. Okay, so we're gonna make a poll real quick. And we're gonna see what y'all think. Okay? I am definitely not playing that game, Patch Cutie. Nope. Nope. I have zero interest in it. Nothing against anyone who has played it or has enjoyed it, but nope. Nope. Not for me. I admittedly have not actually beaten the first Hades. I also have a suggestion of my own, which is Resident Evil Requiem. I've been wanting to play it for a while, but I've been holding off because I was thinking about doing it on stream. So if you would all like to watch me play a sort of horror-ish game, I've heard that Requiem kind of bounces back and forth between action and horror. You should know that I'm not necessarily always the greatest with horror. I oscillate, vacillate, whatever it is, but between being really good with horror and really awful with horror. Like, I played through Silent Hill 2, the Silent Hill 2 remake with my partner recently, and playing through that game, depending on my mood and where my headspace was at, there were times where it was like, okay, I'm super chilling, and if I get jump scared, it just makes me laugh. It's just like, oh, you got me, good job. And then there are other times where I feel constant distress. And so you're gonna see a lot of different sides of me if we do play through that game. It really depends on my mood and my headspace. But there are times when I'm good with horror, there are times when I am not. And if we do play through Resi, I will simply play the game, regardless of which of those moods I'm in. So we're putting that on the list. I'm thinking putting Celeste on the list sounds very fun as well. So that's an option too. We saw the suggestion of Kingmaker. It's one of the Pathfinder video games. So I will gladly put that on there. What other suggestions did we have? We had Hades. And then I think I'm gonna put, do I like Metroidvanias like Hollow Knight? I enjoyed the one Metroidvania that I played. And you know what? We did have a conversation about that, so I will put Hollow Knight on there. This isn't going to be Silksong because I have not played the original yet, but just regular Hollow Knight. That is what makes Halo Reach the best Halo game. Yeah, objectively, Dill Girl. Alright, the poll is out. The poll is out. What about a survival game as a future game idea? I mean, I do enjoy different survival games. I've played Ark. I've of course played Minecraft. I've played Valheim. I even played Palworld when that came out for a bit. But it's kind of... I'm not entirely sure of exactly what I would do. I guess try and beat all the bosses, but that would be a slow process. That would be a massive commitment, wouldn't it? I do also, obviously, I have plans for collabs in the future. Potentially with my partner, potentially with other people. We're thinking about playing like Split Fiction together, my partner and I, and going through Monster Hunter, but they're currently occupied with a lot of other collabs and stuff. Have I tried Abiotic Factor? Not yet. We might be able to add that to the list at some point. I understand that Abiotic Factor is much more story-driven than a lot of other survival games. So that could be very fun. I'm in a good mood today, y'all. I'm in a good mood. Today's stream was very fun. What is their Twitch, by the way? Boop. Go follow my partner. Go follow my partner, twitch.tv/stumblin. You gotta do it. You gotta. It's required. It's the law. And then what I'm going to do, all right, is next week we will still be streaming Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But we are going to be doing things a little bit differently. Monday will be the Dark Souls day. So if you're here for the Souls streams, those will continue to happen on Mondays at 2 p.m. Wednesdays will probably be where we do whatever game ends up winning this current little poll. All right? And we're probably going to end up moving those to be a little later in the day. I might also tweak the schedule a little bit just in general because I want to work around my partner's stream schedule as well. I don't want us to be interfering with each other. That is a dead tie between Resi 9 and Celeste. Okay. Well, shall we flip a coin then? We'll flip a coin, and then whichever one wins, we'll do. And then the loser, we will... Oh, actually, you know what? Yeah, let's do it. Let's do a runoff. We're going to do a tiebreaker. And whichever one loses the tiebreaker, we will still do just after we finish the one before it, okay? So, this one's going to be a shorter duration. We're going to do just a minute, okay? We're starting the poll. Place your votes. Place your votes. We'll make this happen. But yeah, I'm gonna take a look at my partner's stream schedule and we'll figure out what works best between those options. And I'll figure out a new time. But the reason I want to do this is because I would like for people who are, maybe working right now to be able to watch my streams. So having a little bit more variance in the timing means that hopefully more people can come say hi. Tell Lynn you appreciate the comment they left on your fan art. Will do. Okay, Celeste takes it by 1 vote. This is why democracy matters, my friends. Every vote counts. Okay. Then next week, we will be doing Dark Souls 1 and Celeste. And then once we've finished Celeste, we'll go ahead and do Resi 9. It should be pretty fun. And with that, I think we're going to call it for today. Thank you for attending my lecture on the smashability of various Demon's Souls enemies. Yeah, do Demon. The Monday streams will still be at the normal time they have been. The Monday streams will still be at this time. But for the sake of broadening things so that more people with different availabilities can come say hi and be a part of this, I just want to vary it a little bit, right? Happy late Transgender Day of Visibility. Yes, absolutely. To all of my fellow trans friends. I hope that you all stay safe and healthy and happy. I hope you're all doing well. Now, where shall we go? Where shall we go? Who shall we visit? Let's see. Sorry, someone's streaming and they're just chatting, and the title of the stream is alcohol. I don't know if we're doing that one. Imp VTuber playing Satisfactory. Do we wanna go see a queer imp play Satisfactory? That sounds fun to me. Let's go say hi. Let's go say hi. I'm gonna assume this is part of a bit. I'm looking at unregistered hypercam 2 and something. All right. Let's go. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Let's go say hi. Let's go say hi. Onwards, my friends. Onwards. To war, to victory. All right. I'm going to count us down from 10, and then we're heading out. So if you want to join, you better join now. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.